What's up, ladies and gents? I am B-Train from Those Missouri Guys, and I'm here to relay to you thoughts about the WWE Attitude Era release on DVD. Sorry, my words may have been backwards because, let's face it, Raw kind of made my mind go a little backwards because the whole concept of Kane and Daniel Bryan, it was really cool, and...
Yes! Ow! Yes! Ow! Ow! Ow!
Okay, that one was out of the blue. Since when, I've never been a proponent for humor in wrestling. Actually, I have. I think it's great that they added the whole Daniel Bryan and Kane angle in the middle of Raw. Made it quite interesting. Other than that, the rest of the night was kind of stagnant and boring. And what do I mean by stagnant and boring? Let's see. Kofi Kingston and Ziggler was a pretty good match. It went back and forth. Ziggler picked up the win. Yada yada, blah blah. And then you have Zack Ryder and Santino versus Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. Again, I'm screwing up names, much like JR was kind of messing up on dialogue last night on Monday Night Raw. Now let's face it, ever since a lot of things have been going on, there's been some crazy things like King having a heart attack and recovering, thankfully. But we're getting off topic and off point here. What do I think of Monday Night Raw's performance last night? Overall, I'd give it a D. Why? Because the quality quite wasn't there. It wasn't, like, oh yeah, Monday Night Raw, I want to watch it over and over again, and I want to DVR it on my TV. Nah, not quite. The whole, Kane Daniel Bryan angle. Let's start with that, shall we? Kane and Daniel Bryan is quite an odd combination, but it's very intriguing to a lot of fans. It's very funny, and it gives the show life. And I don't know what else to say. That's all I could pay attention to. The entirety of World Wrestling Entertainment is slowly slipping through the cracks. Well, I mean, it already has been. The focus of the night, centered around John Cena, CM Punk. Hell in a Cell's coming up, and they're building up a storyline for that. It's not doing well. Why? Because, unexpectedly Cena had elbow surgery. Who cares? I honestly, guys, think that CM Punk is doing his job. He's great as a heel if you look at this from my perspective. If the script was reversed, I don't think Cena could do as well as a heel. Why? Because he's already remained neutral, and he doesn't want to let go. He's one of those guys that if he sees something on paper that the boss tells him to say, he'll say it. How sad can you be? I'm just saying, if you wanted to cuss at CM Punk, do it. You get fines, you get parent complaints. Who gives a damn? You're already implementing some Attitude Era storylines, and what do I mean by that? X-Pac and Kane, Daniel Bryan and Kane, you do the math. It's a very similar storyline. The only thing missing is Torrie Wilson. And no, I'm not talking about the Torrie Wilson that left the company. But you get where I'm going with this. Cena and CM Punk. There's a lot of rivalries that it mirrors. One in particular being, I don't know, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Not quite. Regardless of what happened, Mick Foley even showed his face on Monday Night Raw. Jim Ross was calling commentary. And whether you like to admit it or not, this company's starting to blend together storylines and thinking nobody else can catch on. Well, some people can, and some people who enjoy watching it just for the sake of watching it, just get enthralled with the storylines. That's fine. You are what you are as a WWE fan. Nobody can change your opinion, correct? However, as I keep getting off the beaten path here, with storylines and all this jumbled mess, that makes me wonder, where is this company going? Monday Night Raw used to be a show that dominated, and it clearly dominated over Monday Night Football, Monday Night Baseball, and anything else that you can think of. Where is it now? You know, I mean, obviously a lot of fans still tune in and watch it, but when it comes to certain cities, not a lot of people go. For this reason being, when you see what I saw last night with a bunch of you guys, the whole outcome with CM Punk and Cena, no, not a big fan of. Even if CM Punk was to be, you know, in control and Cena left laying on the ground, I would have been fine with that. And I'll say this again, I am a biased CM Punk fan. I think he's doing a marvelous job at being the villain. Cena, if you want to let go of some unwanted feeling, of feeling like you're repressing something, let it out. Because it's getting frustrating watching you hold in how you feel. Punk's letting it all out in the air, and you see how he feels. Despite him not being top dog, apparently still in WWE with merchandise, and not just merchandise, but appearances and guest appearances and so on down the road. The PG era is starting to slowly but surely, I don't know, let loose. Because right now what I'm seeing, the chair shots with Kane and Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, that was a little bit attitude-like. And I kind of like that. Edge returning and having a funny moment in the ring, that's kind of also attitude-like. You had a lot of things going on right now in the WWE that are not so PG. And I think that just, oh yeah, which brings me to my next point. Another person who constantly tries to shove it in Attitude Era fans' face that it's time for us to move on. Let's just say this from a logistical standpoint, okay? Ratings-wise, if you have a show that went over 10 or 10.6, looking back on the ratings, according to Garrett.com, if you don't believe me. Cheap plug there, I know, right? If you don't believe me, you can go and look. You can look on 3 different sources, and it'll show that the Attitude Era had higher ratings and better quality of wrestling. It wasn't hardcore every night, but it left you on the edge of your seat. It was like a big Marvel teaser, you know, at the end of a Marvel film. And also, just to clarify one thing, the Attitude Era DVD release has had some clips taken down thanks to Linda McMahon talking to the technical director, telling him to take down some clips due to the campaign and the smut campaign against Linda McMahon. Do you have any clue whatsoever? I mean, to me, that just doesn't quite make sense. Why would you take down something as successful as the Attitude Era? I guess you just want this company to go further into the ground. Oh, and before I leave, I'm going to get this off my chest. See, I'll show you, Cena. This is how you do it. John Cena. A guy who better represents what a paper champion would be, and not a champion that people could actually identify with or cheer for. You saw how many times the plugs went back and forth. The only reason I think the crowd booed Punk is because he insulted them, which is what you do as a heel. You get however many pops you get. That's a great job, Punk. But I'm here to tell you, John Cena, you cannot tell me, as a WWE superstar of 10 years, almost 10 years, that you can't change your style, that you can do something different. You grabbed a lead pipe, woo, that's so big of you. And even if CM Punk grabbed one, I would still say the same thing. Wow, that was big of you. Because as far as wrestling skill goes, we all know you don't have any. And as far as me babbling more about John Cena, I'm getting tired of seeing programming center itself around a superstar who is so damn selfish, so damn self-centered. He does promotional plugs in the middle of programming. DX did so too, but they did theirs in a tasteful way. Granted, Triple H and Shawn Michaels aren't there anymore. I get that. A lot of people say that if this was the Attitude Era, Cena would be completely decimated or he'd be completely destroyed. There's reason for that. You guys had guys like Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, Zack Ryder, and God knows who else to help this company out now. There's a lot of similarities, believe it or not, guys, in the Attitude Era, and now it's just a little bit slower. as far as quality goes and as far as production goes. So as far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't be, a phone call interrupted me. Thank God, right? No. Okay, so basically minus that interruption, John Cena, you're appreciated for what you do in the ring. I don't think so. For half the fans that go and see you. And the majority of us have the belief that you are not what this company is looking for. You may be merchandise-wise, you may be main event-wise, but from a fan's perspective, you tend to irritate the ever-living daylights out of me because you don't ever let loose in your promos. You don't ever cuss because of WWE parents. What are they going to do, John? Sue you for $500? Oh, every cuss word, that's $500 out of your $68 million you get for an appearance. I'm sorry if I sound psycho-obsessed talking about him every single week, but I had to bring this to you guys' attention. John Cena may be the nicest guy outside the ring, but he sure as hell is the dumbest one. Oh, and by the way, if you don't like what I'm saying, then you really don't have to watch my channel, which I know there's a lot who don't, but there's also some who do. And as far as some statements regarding on another channel saying that the Attitude Era fans need to move on, need to move forward, at least we had eras with different champions. Just saying. Oh. And
if you're not down with that, Billy's got two